started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder.
Welcome back to City Girls Make Do, lovely ladies and everyone else. There's lots of lovely people who are listening to our podcast who aren't ladies, so
true, but we do put women first.
My women and non-binary friends come before everyone else, and then everyone else is just fine.
Men can die.
That's our stance. Welcome to City Girls Make Do, your number one Sex in the City podcast, hosted by me, a Jehovah's Witness with a good suit.
And I'm Alex, aka Toot Toot. Yeah. Beep beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it. It's really cute. We have made it to season 3. I'm so excited.
I could not believe we're on season 3 already. How are we this far in?
I don't know. We've just powered through. Oh, I mean, it has been I can't remember when we started, but I mean, it has been like maybe 2/3 of a year, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Shit.
It's been pretty good. And yeah, season 3, episode 1, episode 31 of our lovely little podcast. The episode is called Where There's Smoke, ... Which,
yeah, I mean, you can complete the rest yourself, but that's the title.
It is kind of a stupid title. They could have done better, but yeah.
Well, it doesn't even. Oh, because of the fireman. Like, I just got that.
I literally had to think about it, and I'm like, okay, that's like the C plot of the episode, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all kinds of good stuff this week. We got a Foxy guest star, which
Ooh,
hell yeah.
Very, very Vulpine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is kind of counteracted with Steve, which I hate to see. But, you know, it's a little bit of good mixed in there, and I'm very excited to talk about it. I feel like this whole episode is just going to be us talking about how hot John Slattery is, because, like, it's true.
True. Yeah, it's nice to have someone who's hot and, like, charming and not big.
Yeah, it's really nice, and he's going to be with us for longer than just this episode, which I'm, like, extremely excited about, because usually we've got, like, Man of the Week, and then he's gone, but this guy's here for at least a couple, so, and I love to look at him, so that, honestly, John Slattery is, like, the best-looking guy Carrie ever goes out with, and, I mean, I know that's a high bar, but I don't know.
It's true, yeah, and you know what, he's still cute. 20 years on, he's still cute.
He is. He only got silverier and foxier.
True. So. We should probably get into this before we just gush everywhere.
Yeah, let's just get into it. So, okay, so we start out our episode. We are going to Staten Island. The girls are on a ferry to attend the New York Fire Department's annual calendar competition.
Yeah, Carrie's a judge. They loathe Staten Island because they're snobs.
Because they're from Manhattan, and so Staten Island is just for lowly people.
It's for the poors, let's just be real here.
Yeah.
And they just all seem to hate the ferry ride the most. Everyone is just being themselves. Like, Samantha is horny, Miranda is cynical, and Charlotte wants to find her prince.
It's true. They are pretty classic themselves this week, and Carrie is a disaster. So she's been worse. She's been more of a disaster before. But I don't understand why they're not just standing inside. I mean, part of it's because Carrie wants to smoke, but like they could. It seems like there's an inside area where they could just hang out, but.
Of course there is. I've seen Spider-Man Homecoming. I know there's an inside, but...
Yeah, they clearly just, I mean, she wants to smoke, so she gotta do that. Even though they later say that, like, at Staten Island, you can smoke anywhere because they're, you know, like that. But But then we get to the competition, and so, okay, I don't really get what this competition is. It's like the firefighter men are basically stripping, but not like totally naked, just like dancing and pulling their clothes off to expose their bods.
I think the thing is they strip and then they get judged, and then like the hottest guys get onto the calendar.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. I can't believe that there's so many firefighters that they have to like do this for a shot at the gold. Like,
it's in New York.
You know what? That's a real good point. Yeah, I don't know.
There are a lot of firefighters in cities.
I guess so. What's even like on fire there? It's kind of just like
buildings.
I guess so. I've never been to New York. I don't know what kind of fires they get. Yeah, but this is where we meet our man of the week. So, okay, so Carrie is on the judge panel watching the guys, and then we meet Bill Kelly, aka John Slattery, aka Roger Sterling from the hit TV show Mad Men, aka the foxiest man ever. He's the token male judge.
Which I found weird. I'm like, why didn't they find a gay guy?
Maybe they...
He's very clearly straight, and he also seems to be rather straight-laced because he's a politician. He's up for comptroller or something.
Yeah, I wrote question marks after that because I have no idea what the fuck a comptroller is.
No.
Yeah, and he's like talking to Carrie, and she's just like, watch the firemen, and he says he's more into cops as kind of like a joke, and then I was like, don't like that.
Yeah, problematic. And if you're gonna date anyone in a uniform, I think firefighter is the best bet.
Like firefighters are kind of like if cops were good.
Yeah.
Like, not that there's never been a bad firefighter before, but like, you know, it's very different from being a cop. It's like, this is where you go if you actually want to help people.
Yeah, like because like obviously you can say the same about doctors. Like, they're human people; they can still be dicks. But
yeah,
in general,
but I feel
mean,
there's
firefighters don't have guns.
Yeah, well, they don't have guns because they're not going to shoot the fire. And then, like, the whole thing, like, they're also different from, like, doctors in the sense where it's not like they're being bribed by pharma to, like, peddle their medicines. And so it's like, it's not like someone's like, oh, we're gonna make some fires and you're gonna have to put them out, or I don't know. It's not like there's any like power hierarchy in firefighting, and that makes it
not really. It's just like, there's a building on fire, we should probably go get the people out of it. Like, they make bad calls and shit. But
exactly.
At the end of the day, probably the least problematic civil servant I would take a hazard at.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is definitely like high-key flirting with her. We see Samantha and the other girls. They don't have Cosmos in Staten Island, but they have Staten Island iced teas.
I love Samantha's face when she's like, is that just a Long Island iced tea? And she looks so confused.
Yeah, and they have like one sip and Miranda is just saying, hello, I'm drunk.
It's good. It's really good. I love Miranda.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they're right at the front, and Charlotte is being so weird. She's like, oh, I feel weird being this front. Like, there are no guys here I could marry, which...
Is that why you went? Because I feel like that's not what you're gonna get here. But also, like, everyone else is at the same event as you. No one's gonna judge you for being at the front. Like,
like, all right, there are places, maybe you're in a swanky, like, uptown bar and you're trying to find a nice guy with a good job and an apartment, right? Mm-hmm. But you're at a fucking strip club, essentially. Yeah. Have fun.
And she's like somewhere where she doesn't even know anybody. She's not even in Manhattan, which is like the only place she ever exists. So, but Miranda is like, oh, well, I can't see from far away without my glasses on, so we have to be close. And Charlotte's just like, oh, wait, you have Steve. Who even cares? Why do you care?
She can do better.
Yeah, but Miranda's like, I don't have Steve. We're just friends, which is a big load of baloney, but...
Well, Samantha says, you know, you're my friend. I don't stick my dick in you.
She does have a point there.
True.
So,
True.
Yeah, and when we do see them later, it's very much like, well, if you were just friends who were boning, would you really be... We'll get to it, but...
We'll get to it. Yeah, they're all just being so textbook themselves. There's not much to say.
Not really.
No,
Sam's horny.
And then it seems like the competition's over and everyone's just having a few drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And we're dancing to Donna Summer. It's so cringy.
Yeah, Carrie can't dance.
No.
So she's trying to. And we get a voiceover where she says Staten Island is like a quaint European country because American music is 20 years behind and you can smoke anywhere.
I've never been to Staten Island, so I can't comment.
I feel like the American music is 20 years behind is, from what I've experienced being in Europe, not true, but...
No, maybe in the 90s, but like in a modern age where most places have the internet, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe she's talking like if you're in like the real sticks of like the Balkans or something, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're dancing, and then Sam goes up to a guy she had been eyeing earlier. Like, she was up front watching him, and he was like watching her back. And this man is like the definition of himbo, I think.
Yeah, she does have a weird icebreaker because she says he's wearing like an FDNY shirt, and she says, "Oh, do you know where I can get one of those? I want to get it for my nephew." I don't think it's a real turn on. And maybe he is like, oh, she brought up her nephew, so she must not be flirting with me, because he's like, oh, you can buy them. I don't know if they sell them here, though.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck she was going for. I have no idea. And he just seems very like, well, I don't know. Samantha she clearly thinks he's super cute, which I don't get at all.
No.
But he's also seems very dumb. But I don't know if that's just me, but
he is like, in Friends, he would be like Joey's one brother.
He would be, yeah. That's pretty much exactly what he is.
He's just Joey. He's just clearly very Italian. And he's like, I guess, handsome in quotation marks, and very stupid.
Yeah, like, just the things he says are just so, why would you say it? Like, Samantha's just like, oh, I saw you up there, dancing. And he's like, I saw you too. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Good for you.
Samantha has to be very obvious and pretty much just...
basically.
Yeah.
And then Carrie's talking to Bill. They're at the bar flirting. Mm-hmm.
I have to say, okay, we were so on the fucking nose with Carrie has never voted. Our headcanons are correct.
Oh my god. When she said this, I screamed, and I just like, I got so mad at my notes because I was just like, Carrie, you... Yeah, because he's running for whatever the fuck he's running, and they're talking, and she's just like, you have the worst taste in men, and then he's like, which district do you vote in? And she says whichever one is close to Barney's, because she's never voted. Ever. She's like 30-something years old, and she's never voted. Like, I get when you're like in your early 20s sometimes, I mean, I don't get it, but like, sometimes when people are just like, well, politics are like, and they just think that their voice like doesn't matter whatsoever. I mean, I don't know, but by the time you get to your 30s, you should have grown out of that phase. And she's just like, I don't care as long as I can buy shoes.
Yeah, well, because no fucking policy has ever or ever will affect her, because she's just like a fucking rich, like, white woman. And she always pretends to be broke. She's not. No,
she just has bad spending habits.
Yeah, because she lives near fucking Barney's, and she has like a fucking cute little apartment. It's bullshit.
Yeah, and like, just she looks like she's broke because she's next to characters like Samantha and Charlotte, who are less broke than her.
Yeah.
like, who are just fucking well off. But yeah, no, she's definitely fucking doing fine for herself. The only thing she ever has to fucking worry about is if they change the laws about fucking rent controlled apartments. So
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, I've known the boroughs I vote in since I turned 18 and started voting.
Yeah, same hat. Like, it's very stressful to me that she doesn't know any of this. I mean, I don't know how important the comptroller vote is, whatever the fuck that means, but
if she just said like, oh, I only vote in like major elections, fine, so do I, who can be bothered? Actually, that's not true.
I think local politics are probably where your voice is most important to be heard.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's just like Carrie has never voted in anything.
No,
like Bush is Carrie's fault.
Yeah, I have actually voted in local elections. I'm just saying, like, if you only vote in major elections, I don't think that's the end of the world.
Yeah, because fuck,
it's easier. You don't. Well, I mean, when voting isn't a holiday and you can only fucking, there are many reasons.
It's not hard to do. You'd think she'd be like, oh, well, it's an excuse for me to not. I mean, she doesn't have to go to work anyway, but
she doesn't have a job.
Yeah,
let's just be real. She doesn't have a job.
True. Fucking Carrie is just a fucking shitlib.
Yeah.
Who doesn't vote and can eat my ass. And he wants to know what district she's in so he can tell her where to vote, but he's just like, what's your address? Only for government purposes, of course.
Yeah. It would be, I mean, it would be a lot creepier if he wasn't cute. I will say that. I will admit to it.
This whole episode, I was like, if this wasn't John Slattery, I would be like, this guy needs to fucking cool down and lay the fuck off, because Jesus Christ, if he wasn't this attractive, this would not be okay. I mean, okay, it's not okay
it's
just
not
because
okay.
he's attractive, but it makes me less like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'm more just like, oh, it's creepy, but also it's John Slattery.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm an honest woman, and everything he does in this episode is incredibly creepy, but because he is handsome and charming, I go, oh, well, it's a TV show.
Yeah.
It's not, if this was real life, I'd be like, no, but it's a TV show. It's not real.
I guess but it's also like, Carrie's
don't give your
reaction.
address to strange men.
Well, yeah, right? And I guess it's also like Carrie's reaction to it, where she's kind of like, I'm not ready to be in a relationship, so I don't really want to interact with you this way. But she's never like creeped out by it, but like she shouldn't have to be creeped out by it for it to be like not okay. So,
no.
But yeah, she doesn't really want to give it to him. Yeah.
And what else happened? I love watching this episode today and then immediately forgetting everything that happened.
Yeah. Well, like she does tell him where she lives, and he's like, "Oh, you're in the same district as me because I live like at this address." And then I don't know, doesn't he? Or no, he kind of like says, "Let's go out for dinner," and then there's just a very long, awkward silence. And
no, she says, "Oh no, I'm not ready to be in a relationship at the moment," and he said, "Oh, what, bad breakup?" And
yes,
so it's this is the worst. Like, I thought my TV had broken. So she is just silent for like, I don't know, probably only about 10 seconds. Feels like a whole minute.
Yeah.
She just sort of, her head goes down and she turns around and looks off into the distance as Carrie oft does. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, oh, that was really awkward. I'm sorry. And she just sort of walks away and sort of says to him like, yeah, I'm not, reiterates she's not looking for something at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then she like immediately tells Miranda that like it's time to go because I'm getting hit on by this politician guy. And Miranda's immediate response is, "He's pretty cute though."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so Miranda's like, okay, Samantha went home with that firefighter guy. Mm-hmm. Let's find out where Charlotte is. And then Charlotte wasted and she's singing along on the dance floor to some disco tunes.
Oh,
I love her.
I love this. This is probably my favorite scene in the whole episode. She is like this. She is drunk off her ass, just singing and dancing along, and it's perfect. We've all been this girl before.
Yeah. So like the next scene, they're on the ferry and Charlotte is literally me when I'm drunk.
I love that.
Because I got a weird flashback to like, you know, when you've been rather wasted and then you get flashbacks to like what happened later on.
Yes.
Well, I had one, I can't even remember when it was, but I was like, I'm so pretty. I'm really pretty. And I was just saying that over and over again.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that is exactly the scene.
And that, yeah, it might have been my 18th. I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah, she's like, I'm pretty, I'm smart, I'm a catch. I'm going to get married this year.
Yeah. And Carrie's just like, you are going to get married. And she's like, I'm going to get married. And she's just yelling off the ferry. It's, I love her.
I do too. And she's not wrong. She's setting her intentions.
Mm-hmm. She visualized it and she made it happen.
She visualized it. She manifested it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's, open up your chakras. Let's do this, girls.
Yep. This is Charlotte's dream board 2K. Because this is 2000 now. We've made it to 2000.
Yay. She invented the secret.
God. She probably did, to be honest.
I mean, it didn't work great, but it did happen.
She did visualize it. She just wasn't specific enough. So
that's true. If you're ever setting any sort of magical intentions, be specific.
That's true. And I mean, speaking of very, very, very pretty male guest stars on this season, whose characters are very, we'll get there later.
He's coming. Diane, this is Special Agent Cooper, and I'm arriving in Twin Peaks. I'm arriving in Manhattan. I'm going to find myself a wife.
Oh, I love it.
Me too. Okay, anyway, yeah, Miranda is like pissed off, and so is Carrie, because babysitting your drunk friend is awful.
Yeah, the thing is, when all of you are drunk enough, it's just fun, but I guess clearly neither of them are very drunk, except for Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can understand that.
Then, so we cut to Samantha next, right?
Yeah, her and the firefighter are boning at Sam's apartment, and he's just like pounding her sideways.
She is getting capital F fucked.
She is getting fucking railed. Like, he's laying tracks in her vagina and choo-choo. She is screaming. Like, she's literally screaming.
This is a real good for her moment.
I'm proud of her.
I'm really happy for her. Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. This is really going well. It seems like they went back to her apartment, though, which seems like a trek.
Yeah, they're very much in her apartment. I guess they just didn't want to build a new set.
Pretty much. And then we go straight to breakfast the next day, and Samantha looks like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She wants to tell everyone about her night, but then Charlotte looks like absolute hell. Like, I'm surprised she didn't like have straight up sunglasses on her face.
Yeah, Carrie says she didn't want to throw up on her Burberry trench coat.
Mm-hmm, true. And Sam just jumps right in with, let me tell you about his cock.
And then Charlotte's like, there are kids at the next table.
That was like my other favorite part of the episode. And Sam's just like, well, that's their choice.
I've definitely been Samantha, and I've like said something very inappropriate.
I mean,
and then realized there were children around me.
I went out for dinner on Monday with my boyfriend at the Keg, which is like a pretty nice restaurant, and he definitely said the cursed phrase out loud at the dinner table. And
why do you say that?
I don't remember the context. I can't even remember why he said it, but he said it out loud at this like nice restaurant, and I was like, "Yep, you're definitely Matt." So,
God,
I don't think there were kids at the restaurant, but there weren't any right next to us. So,
yeah, very appetizing.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So we're talking about the boys, and is this where we get? I can't even. Oh yeah, they're talking about why firemen are cute.
Yeah,
and they are.
I kind of agree, but I kind of like. I don't know. I felt like all the men who were in the dance competition thing were like, I don't know. The thing is, you gotta have a nice face for me to think you're attractive, and like most of them didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, you're definitely a face girl.
Uh-huh.
I don't think any of them were even like particularly ripped.
Yeah.
They were big guys. They were like, like a rugby or something like that. They were big guys, but I don't think they were like particularly ripped or anything.
Yeah, not really. And I've never really gotten the fireman thing, but I think that's mostly because I don't really care that much about like having a ripped chest or anything. But
no, I never really got the like men in uniform thing ever. I don't find having a job all that sexy.
I think I'm like the opposite, because I'm like, oh, the more clothes you have on, the better. But it depends on the uniform, because if like it's like a guy in like a cop, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, the uniforms are always shit. It's like, oh, a cop, oh, an army man,
a sailor.
Like, not,
yeah,
those are pretty much the worst jobs a guy could have.
It's
I don't
true.
find those. And then I did buy, or my mum bought my grandmother like a sexy fireman calendar last year.
Oh, good.
Which my favorite part is they had their star signs in. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like star sign, Leo, Gemini, which I appreciate. I really, more guys need to be very open and clear about whatever their star sign is, because I need to know.
That's a good point. They should just let
I
you
don't
know.
think, yeah, but especially because according to all the tarot card videos I've been watching, my soulmate is a Libra. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a Leo. Anyway. But like I don't think I've found any of them to be particularly hot, and this is the hottest of the hot.
Yeah, according to them it is. And they're trying to pinpoint just what makes them so cute, and that's when Charlotte says it. She says, "It's because women just want to be rescued."
Yeah, I don't disagree with her. I mean, I think her reasoning is wrong. But like I think she has a my thing is I think women are made to think they want to be rescued.
Mm-hmm. You do very much
Yeah, because like all the stuff aimed at women is like, oh, a nice man saves me and I don't have to do any work until you get married and you have to shoot fucking babies out and, do the cooking and the cleaning and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or hire some other woman to do all those things for you.
Pretty much. And because, Carrie, well, I think it's her voiceover basically says, like, this is the single sentence that independent women in their 30s aren't supposed to think, let alone say out loud. Because you're not supposed to ever feel like you need to be helped by a man. And I don't know. It does very remind me of the Community moment where Britta's just like, when I was a kid, I didn't even write a list to Santa because I didn't want to rely on a man for anything.
But like, I mean, there are times when a man's help is appreciated.
There are, and the thing is, like, I don't want to be rescued because I can do things on my own, but I do like to feel safe with somebody.
Yes.
And I do like to feel like I'm with someone who is going to stand up for me if I ever need to be backed up and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
I don't want to be rescued. I want to know that if I needed to, then there would be someone there for me.
Because no one wants to be on their own. Like,
no.
I don't know. That's just, I feel like the idea that you have to be solely independent for your entire life and everything is a very, like, I don't know, it's a very, like, Mr. Big attitude to me. Like, it's a very, like, masculine type of thinking that you're conditioned to think, oh, you know, if you need people for help, then you're just sad and pathetic. But it's like, well, it's actually good to ask people for help a lot of the time. Yeah, you should never have to do everything yourself.
No, but if you don't want to be in a relationship, like, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do, then you want to be in a partnership and know that you have each other's backs.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, you know?
Yeah, and it's a very, like, two-way road. It's not just like,
Yes.
oh, this person's gonna save me. It's like, well, you have to kind of put in the work on the other end too. So
It's like, here are the things I'm good at, here are the things you're good at.
Mhm.
Smush them together.
mm-hmm. It's true. And then you're gonna make a super duo, ideally.
Exactly. You're going to be a power couple. You're going to be like the Ellen and Portia of whatever, the heterosexual Ellen and Portia.
If you're heterosexual, I guess. If you're dating
True.
someone,
You're going to be the man woman monogamous Ellen and Portia. I mean, especially because there are so many combinations. Like, this is the most like hetero cis normative show there is, even though it is an exploration of like sexual politics and things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're exploring this, I guess what we set out to do when we make the show is like explore it from a modern perspective. And if you're doing that, then like, yeah, women probably do want someone to have their back, but like there are so many combinations which aren't just being with a guy and then getting married and having children.
Yeah. And when the show does attempt to do something that's not heteronormative, it's still like cis gay man. Pretty much every single time.
Still is Stanford.
Which is,
or it's fucking... No, or it's like it's Samantha dating a lesbian for like a week.
Yeah. And like they're valid stories to tell. It's just that they're stories that kind of have been told before.
And haven't aged well either.
Yeah, exactly. And they could be more diverse on this, for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, they dated 2 whole black men out of fucking, like, nearly 100 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sure did that. And
then no one else of color.
Yeah, maybe they realized that, like, the times they did do it, they handled it so badly that they should maybe just not do it again. I don't know.
We'll get to what happens when they put people of color in the show in this season.
Yes.
So. We're both really looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. I'm just dying to talk about that. So, I feel
but
Charlotte.
yeah, moving on.
Because Charlotte says, I've been dating since I was 15 and I'm just fucking exhausted. Where is he? I mean, she doesn't say fucking, but because she's Charlotte, but... And Carrie just says, well, maybe we're supposed to be our own white knights. And Charlotte thinks that's so depressing.
She's right. I don't want to fucking do everything myself. I'm tired. I'm with Charlotte. I'm exhausted. Where is my Libra?
Where is he? True. It's a good question.
I mean, I don't want to date someone whose birthday is close to mine, though. That's fucked. If they're a Libra or a Leo, then their birthday's going to be close to mine. I don't fucking want that.
It's true, because you're sandwiched right in between the two of them. See, I'm dating a Libra, and he's very far from my birthday. So,
see, that's
nice.
Exactly. Because the entire month of September needs to be about me. That's just a fact.
That's valid, and it should be, and it is. So, same with March. March is all about me, and that's it. No one else.
Exactly. It's Pisces season, baby.
It is Pisces season. Ugh, I feel wet and hydrated.
Get wet. It's Pisces season.
Yes. And that's just in the air. And speaking of getting wet, so it's Carrie's question time, and she's sitting at her window, and it's raining outside, and she looks so cozy just sitting at the rainy window. And
and her like red peasant top, and she's playing with her hair, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So we get our question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's wondering if Charlotte was right. Like, she couldn't help but wonder, maybe, what if Prince Charming never showed up? Like, what would Snow White have done? Like, gotten a job in healthcare? Gone to a sperm bank? Her question is, do women just want to be saved?
Yeah, Snow White had a job. bitch. She was like a carer for the 7 dwarves.
Yeah,
That's what she did.
She did plenty
She was a
of
cook.
stuff.
She was a maid. She was a cleaner.
Yeah, no, she did lots of stuff. And I feel like it's so weird, like, I don't know, it's such a generalized thing to say, do women just want to be saved? Like, some women want to be saved, some women don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kinds of women. And
I mean, don't you just love blanket statements about any group?
I love it when people just say things that they really don't know more than their own little bubble, and they're like, what if I try to say this about everyone?
What if all women are like me, a rich woman, a rich white woman, who is cis and straight and pretty much able-bodied and lives in New York, the biggest city in the world.
But she has curly hair, so she's
quirky.
Quirky and a minority.
Yeah.
So she... that's like the entire scene. And then we get Miranda.
Yeah. This is so stupid. So she's at like a laser eye surgery clinic. Did you notice the doctor was wearing glasses?
I did.
Yeah, I thought this was a bit of a skinny cook situation.
Yeah. Yeah, very much.
I wouldn't trust like that.
Yeah. It's like a tattoo artist who doesn't have a single tattoo. It's like, what's going on here? But
like a bald hairstylist.
Oh
it's
god.
Like,
yeah.
I guess being bald you can't really help. You can't grow hair. But like if it's not gonna grow.
True.
But you know, I don't know. You think if you're a doctor you get it done.
You would think. Maybe he just is like, maybe he just likes the style. Maybe he's just like, oh, I look so much better.
He's pulling
in
a summer.
He's pulling a summer. I ordered new glasses today online. I'm so excited for them to come in. I haven't gotten new glasses in ages.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I do love new glasses.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, my prescription is so weak that I would never ever get laser eye surgery because, like, I can see pretty much just fine. I just got like a little bit of astigmatism, but like, yeah.
I would love to have laser eye surgery because I can't see shit.
Yeah, fund this on our Patreon. Get Alex laser eye surgery.
I cannot see like a foot in front of me. It's just completely blurry. Unless it's right up against my face. So I'd love to be able to wake up and, you know, see things, not have to walk to the toilet. Just like when I first moved to my new place, I had to like took me a while to figure out how to move to places without my glasses on.
Oh, yeah. Well, not even in the dark, I guess. Like, just without glasses.
Yeah, no, but I need to, like, in the morning, I don't want to wear my glasses until I absolutely have to.
For sure.
So I kind of have to, like, figure out, you know, where shit is.
Yeah. Laser eye surgery, it rules that it's a thing that you can get. It always has scared the shit out of me because I very, very don't like the idea of anything near my eyes, especially since like you need to have your eyes open to do it, obviously. And
true.
I don't know, like other surgeries don't really freak me out, but for some reason like laser eye surgery seems very scary to me.
Yeah. It would just be, I mean, for someone like me who has to be on camera quite a lot, it'd be nice not to have to wear contacts when I want to do that. Because contacts suck. But yeah, she's like signing over the paperwork. The doctor's like, you're gonna need to have someone to pick you up after the surgery's done. And she's like, no, I can get home by myself. And he's like, you won't be able to see shit and you'll be on fucking sedatives.
Miranda, you dumbass. Like, I get it. Like, I get wanting to be self-sufficient, but like, no.
The doctor is like, I just explained to you how I'm gonna cut your eye open. Fucking call someone and tell them to like meet you. Yeah. It's not that difficult. Like, this is just the most stubborn thing in the world. Like,
and it's not even like she's, you know, going in to get an abortion where it's like, it's kind of like a sensitive issue where you might not want your friends to know about it. It's like, you're going in to get your eye sliced open. Like,
and like, okay, even if you were getting an abortion, you might be like, I mean, that's a weird thing to pull up, but I'm with you.
well,
Like,
I mean, it was just like the first thing I thought of that was like where you need someone to come with you. And also it's something where you wouldn't want someone else to know that you had it done, maybe. But
yeah, or even, you know, you might be like, well, I can still see, so I can still call myself a cab and get myself home.
yeah.
But like, no, you won't be able to fucking see. Like,
Also, if you're sedated, like, how are you going to trust that a cab driver is going to do that in in a way that isn't going to charge you like a shitload of money? Like, because you're obviously going to be sedated, like.
or is even just going to be safe, like you even get into an actual licensed cab.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's.
But she does eventually realize, okay, you're right. And we see her and Steve, like, walking down the street later. And, okay, so they're arm in arm. So, not dating what? Yeah, I mean, if you're not dating, then why are you being physically romantic outside of your sex? I don't know about this.
I always walk arm in arm with people. I'm always holding hands with people. I'm very touchy.
I mean, I feel
But
like it's
also,
different with someone
I'm not
that's...
fucking them.
You're
so.
not, yeah, I feel like it's different where it's like, oh, maybe holding hands with like your friends, but this is someone she's sleeping with, and it's someone that she dated for a bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
They're
one.
just doing that fucking rom-com thing where they're like, what are we?
It's really annoying, and
Yeah. But if we're meeting each other and you're having sex with me, we're dating now. Let's just get over it. We're dating.
they need to just admit it, because it's kind of like, this is tiring. Although I wish that they wouldn't admit it, because I wish that what would happen is she just stopped talking to Steve forever, but that's not going to happen. So
no, and she just says, she's like telling the story, and he's like grossed out by how laser eye surgery works. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to call Carrie. She's going to pick me up.
Yeah, and he's like, well, why would you call Carrie? Because I'm offering right now to do it. You don't even need to ask someone else. Like, I'm here. I can do it. And she's just like, well, Carrie is my friend. He's like, I'm your friend, Miranda. And but then they start making out on the street. So, yeah.
I don't love it.
I don't. In fact, I wrote a frowny face emoji in my notes. So
that's that's appropriate.
With the eyebrows and everything. That's how frowny it is.
Oh,
yeah.
That is frowny. So then we have Charlotte and Carrie are in a bar in the Upper East Side. And they're on the hunt for men.
Yes.
Well, Charlotte is.
Yeah, Carrie's just kind of there for the ride. She's wingmanning it. Wing-womaning it. And this some gross guy.
Yeah. Oh my god, this guy.
Yeah, this gross guy comes up and is like, "Hey, beautiful, can I buy those sweet lips a drink?" And
when has this ever worked? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's gross. And then they're like, we were just leaving, and they get up to move. They move like 2 seats down to avoid him.
It's not even like, I mean, it's pretty busy, but it's not that busy that just moving literally like 6 foot away is gonna confuse him.
Yeah, I mean, he's dumb, but he's not that dumb.
No.
And he comes back and he's just like, you didn't leave, you're just over here now, which...
Maybe they think he's a baby and he doesn't have object permanence.
Oh my god. Probably. I mean, he is an adult male, so... he just keeps pestering them, like being a creep, and Charlotte even says, I'm not interested, but then he just keeps going on, and a guy that Charlotte had been eyeing comes up from across the room and is just like, she said she's not interested, and it seems like pretty good at this point, because it's like, oh, I don't think he's cute, but Charlotte thinks he's cute, and then the guy's just like, well, I wasn't talking to you, and then the quote-unquote cute guy punches him in the face. Yeah.
I mean, okay, so we were talking a bit about this earlier, and like, not that women want to be rescued, but if a creepy guy is pestering me, I do appreciate when someone else steps in.
Yeah.
Because most of the time they listen to other men. If you're a fucking creep who is like irritating and, catcalls or like is really gross to women, you're not going to listen when someone politely turns you down.
Yeah.
So another guy stepping in is appreciated.
Like, this is exactly where men actually need to do things. Like, maybe not necessarily punching someone in the face, but it's like,
No.
okay, if you're just like a cis straight white man, then your voice is 99% of the time I don't care. But like the times when it does matter are when it's like, okay, clearly someone is, clearly someone is like in a case where they're not comfortable and they would like some assistance because like they can't really stand up for themselves. So it's kind of that is the time where you do need to, step in and do something like.
Yeah.
Maybe not punch someone in the face, but like it depends on the situation. It depends how shitty the person's being. So.
Well, I mean, like a good one is if you. This is for everyone, but especially if you're a reasonably confident white guy. If you're a reasonably confident white guy, you can get away with anything. I just want you guys to know that. So maybe use your powers for good.
Yeah, it's true. You really could. And that doesn't just mean like when things are, like in situations where someone you don't know is being a shithead. It's like also when people you do know are being shitheads, like, hey, maybe use your voice. So.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, if you're at a bar, I mean, you've heard the one where like you pretend to be like an old friend or something?
Yeah.
That's always like, if you kind of pretend the person who is being pestered, I'll say, then it's probably best to make sure they're safe before you get into a physical fight with whatever. So like always do that. But like if you do see someone who's being a dick, call them out. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's true. People are cowards, but...
True.
But Charlotte is very smitten because someone came and rode up on his metaphorical horse and has saved the day. He saved her, and his name is even Arthur.
I know. My eyes rolled so back. They rolled so far into the back of my head that I couldn't see for a moment.
You're just like Miranda.
Yeah.
My eyes rolled into the back of my head in the next scene because this is where Carrie is shopping. Okay, so Carrie was shopping. She has a giant, like, huge fur coat on. She looks really cute. She bought too many shoes, though, and she's heading home. And then Bill's on her doorstep. So Mr. John Slattery himself showed up on her doorstep.
Yeah.
Don't like this.
Well, this is where I'm like, okay, call the cops.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, they're not gonna do shit, but like, I don't know, they should probably be on file somewhere.
At least get this guy to not run for fucking whatever the fuck politics he's running for. Like, I don't know. I mean, he basically is like, I brought you some voter registration forms and I even filled in your name and occupation. And that's when she calls him a Jehovah's Witness with a good suit, because pretty much being
and
annoying
like,
as fuck.
in occupation, I put heartbreaker, and I'm like,
oh, fuck, God. He's like, Eva, come on, look. And then he's just basically like, oh, well, I want you to come out with me. I have to schmooze at this Capri restaurant on Staten Island, and I can't stop thinking about you. And she hasn't even answered yet. And he's just like, okay, I'll pick you up at 7.
No pressure, but also I am going to pick you up at 7.
Yeah. Remember when we said that white men can kind of just get away with saying anything? Yeah. If you are like reasonably attractive and confident enough and you're a white guy, you can just kind of get away with like whatever you want. So what I'm saying is use your powers for good. And not for puss, like what he's doing right now.
Yeah. I will also say, like, okay, I just had a thought that the less creepy but still like rom-com version of this would be if he sent her the voter registration forms and wrote like a little, like, oh, I got these for you, and then put his number on them.
That would
and just
have been
sent
better.
them to her house.
Yeah.
Just sent them there.
Yeah.
Because that is less creepy than waiting. Like, what if she was just inside? Or what if she was out for the day?
Yeah. Like, how long was he sitting there for? It's just, I don't know. It's
on the fucking cold stoop, like he's probably his ass is probably dead.
I mean, true. Yeah, I didn't like it.
A bad idea, but I don't like it.
And she's basically just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And he kind of tries to give her an out because he's just like, okay, well, like, don't decide now, just think about it, and I'll come by at 7, and if you want to come out, you can come out, but if you don't want to, that's fine, no pressure. And it's like, I think there's a little bit of pressure, but yeah.
And then, he leaves, and then we see Miranda this is like 5 seconds. She just goes by herself to get the lasers done.
How did they let her go in? She needs to write down that she has, like, a person to pick her up. Like, you legally have to. They wouldn't have done the surgery. Because Carrie can't go. Because Carrie has a column deadline, allegedly. I mean, that sounds
This is a lie. She just didn't want to fucking go.
Yeah.
She just didn't want to go. I mean, I've said shit like this all the time. Like, oh no, I have homework. No, I got stuff to do. Oh, I got to edit. I'm busy. No, she just didn't want to fucking go.
Yeah. Which, like, is fine, I guess. Like, Miranda does have 2 other friends, but
she must have more friends.
I would imagine. She's a busy gal, but still. And so, but she didn't call Steve. She just took things into her own hands like an idiot. So.
Yeah. Foolish move.
Yeah. But then she goes in for her surgery, and we don't see her again for a bit. But Charlotte and Arthur are out for brunch, and it looks like they're having a nice time at the start. Like, they're just chatting and flirting, and it looks nice.
They're talking about Harvard, and they're like mutual WASP friends.
Yeah, that part is very gross and like incestuous. I don't like it. I mean, that's the thing about wasps is they're
useless. They're just there to sting you.
That's true. He just looks very waspy too. He's just like looks very rich. He's got his like stupid shirt on, and his hair's all floppy, and he's blonde, and
he looks like he plays rugby. Which, if you play rugby and you're in America, then you're like obviously a wasp.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you play rugby and you're in like any of the Commonwealth places, then you're probably like just a fine normal bloke.
Yeah,
you're a bloke. You're a lad, or you might be rich. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
But if you're in America, then you're probably like a toff. It's like lacrosse.
True. Well, I mean, lacrosse is one of Canada's national sports, so here it's normal. Well,
Okay.
The thing is, I've never met an adult who plays lacrosse in Canada, though, but it's more normal because it's like a national sport here, whereas like if you're in the US, that's...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing. Like, just all normal sports, but in America, like, they're for fucking rich people.
I mean, Canadian sports are for fucking rich people because it's like hockey. You have to be fucking like, Jesus Christ, like for the gear and everything to play hockey.
Yeah,
that shit is expensive. Where it's like if you go and play soccer, like a normal sport, it's just, anyone can do it. But
you need a ball. Mm-hmm. You need a ball, and then you put your hoodies down, and that makes a goalpost. Like,
yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But then things turn sour when the guy behind her, like, he pushes out his chair and she spills a little bit of her wine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. He bumps her.
He just bumps her, which happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Arthur doesn't like this. He says, "Excuse me, you bumped her? That's no way to treat a lady." The other guy's like, "What? Huh? Like, who cares?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I mean, there are moments where I'm like, oh, it'd be nice if there was a bit of chivalry. Like, I'm on the train line, I'm on the underground, and like I'll see sort of like an older woman, and there'll be plenty of young guys around, and none of them will offer her a seat, except like I will.
Yeah.
And then she'll just be like, "Oh no, it's fine, thank you." And I'm like, would have been nice if one of these, like 30-something guys did that, but whatever.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then there are times where it's like, oh, but guys think it just means like, I'll pull your seat out for you.
Honestly, I don't even like fucking thank men when they hold doors open for me anymore because it's so annoying most of the time. I'm just like, fuck off. Like, I know you're just trying to do something nice, but like at the same time, it's like, oh, who cares? Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, Arthur fucking... Okay, so not only does he punch the guy in the face, then he punches the guy in the chest. He gives him like a full-on, like... He clocks him right in the gut.
And then he's doing like a fucking like pugilist stance, like he's ready to bare knuckle box this guy.
Yeah, he scares the waitress.
Yeah. Yes, she's like, well, I mean, this fucking brave waitress. I think we should. She needs like an award because she's like, "Excuse me, sir," and then he turns around and screams in her face, and she's obviously very frightened and runs away. Like, this guy is just cuckoo banana pants.
Yeah, so he's not this chivalrous white knight who wants to defend Charlotte. He just wants to fucking fight anyone he can fight.
He just wants to fight.
Yeah.
In which case, if you want to fight people, just go
online.
Take up MMA.
True, you could do that. Yeah.
You can, if that's your. I mean, if you want to get cauliflower it, play rugby and fucking do MMA.
Mm-hmm. True.
It's not for me.
Now I understand why Fight Club was like really big, like a year before this came out.
I mean, it's because men don't know how to deal with their emotions except from hitting things, and it's really, it doesn't help anyone. Doesn't help men. Doesn't help women. Doesn't help anyone who's not a man or a woman. Doesn't help anyone. But men just want to punch things.
They really do, and they also have like zero ability to critically think about the media they consume and maybe realize that they're like actually being made fun of in the movie. They're like, yes, I should start a fight club. That's a good thing to do. Because they don't know how to think about media.
No, that film, David Fincher made that film for us because one, Brad Pitt looks really hot in it, and two, Jared Leto gets the shit beat out of him.
Oh, it's so true. That is really good to see. Mm-hmm. I do love to see that.
Yeah.
So that is the end of Charlotte's story, I guess. Like, we still have to finish everyone else's. It feels like there's still a decent amount of stuff left, but Charlotte's done already. So
So then we go to Carrie. Wait, no, we go to
Miranda.
We go to Miranda.
Yes.
But Carrie has called Steve, and he arrives out of this, like, the way they shot it, I swear there is like a white light coming from behind him.
Pretty much, because it's all blurred, because it's supposed to be like Miranda opening her eyes and she can't see shit, and you just see this like figure coming towards her, and Miranda says, "Carrie?" and it's just like, "No, Steve." And
hey, it's me, Steve. And and he's like, "Carrie called me and she said, that she couldn't make it, so I'm here instead." And she's like, "Don't touch me."
But then he's just like, "Is it okay that I came?" And Miranda's like, "I'm on Valium. Everything's okay."
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
This is a mood. And she puts on her little sunglasses and
yeah.
She's like, just lead me to the door and never speak of this. Like, she's so fucking mad.
Oh, it's something.
Oh.
But Steve gets her home. He puts her in bed and just like kind of leaves her be. She falls asleep and like sleeps for 1,000,000 hours because she's on Valium and is tired probably.
The doctor says she has to take sleeping tablets and sleep for 12 hours. This sounds like so much fun.
Oh my god, this sounds like the best surgery in the world.
Yeah. Oh, I can see and I get to sleep and do drugs. Awesome.
Nice. But I really hated what came next because Carrie's voiceover, like, Miranda wakes up and sees Steve sleeping next to her, and she can see without glasses, which is good. But, like, when she looks at Steve, Carrie's voiceover is just like, for the first time in her life, Miranda saw things clearly, and she just smiles and holds Steve's hand, and I'm like, I'm retching.
He did what, basic human decency? Anyway.
He showed up. He literally showed up.
Yeah, and then my favorite. Okay, so Samantha is wearing maybe the best outfit so far.
In the entire series. Yeah.
She has, like, She has a blue coat with like a blue faux fur collar, and then underneath she has a blue leopard print slip dress. And we see later that she has blue undies as well.
It's true.
And it's like a neon blue. It's gorgeous.
Yes, it's very bright. It's so good. And her hair's all curly. Like, oh, she looks so good.
Oh, I'm really loving her. Like, she's doing like a bit of a color blocking, because in the last series she was all red. Now she's all blue. I love it. And she's at the firehouse because let's be real here. She wanted to have a gangbang. She
very much knew that it wasn't just going to be, Ricky or himbo.
She 100% wanted to have at least a threesome because she is so excited to be there. She thinks it's going to be all hunky firemen and she's going to like fuck all of them.
She's so valid. Oh, but she's so disappointed.
Yeah. Because they're not hot. They're like, they just look normal.
They're really normal, and they're just a bunch of guys just hanging out and watching TV together, like eating wings and shit. Like, it's really casual.
Yeah, I don't even want to be like, they're fat and ugly, because they're not. They're just normal guys. Like, this is what firefighters actually look like. They're just normal. I think the job makes them like a little bit sexier most of the time.
Most of these guys didn't make the calendar.
Yeah.
But they're just normal. But she just feels really out of place because she's all dressed up. She looks very nice, but then they're just having like a dude's night kind of thing. So,
yeah, part of me is like, what does she expect? But I know what she expected.
Yeah. The thing is, they're at work, right? Like, I know that being a fireman, like, if there's no fires, you're kind of just waiting. But, like, but I don't know.
But you have to be ready at the drop of a hat, because if there is a fire, you have to go fight it.
Yeah, exactly. And so she sees Ricky, he gets her a seat, and that's pretty much like that's the end of the scene for now.
Yeah.
She looks miserable. And then we go back to Carrie.
Then we go to Carrie's, and Bill is on like her answering machine. She's screening the call. And
valid.
He's like, I'm gonna leave in 10 seconds if you don't come down.
Yeah, but she's like dressed up. Like, she looks like she's ready to go out, and she's just smoking at her window, listening to the voicemail, and she's watching the car out her window.
This is weird because it's so clear that she had like planned to go. You wouldn't put the dress on and do your makeup and your hair and everything if you weren't going to go out.
Yeah, I guess she's having second thoughts maybe, but at the same time, it's like she had to put a lot of effort in to look like what she looks like at the moment. So
and he's counting obviously very slowly. He does a 1.5 because Carrie was giving all the firemen a half point. Because sometimes a girl needs a half, which doesn't make any sense.
And maybe she means like a half chub? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what she meant. I heard that and I was like, I get that you're trying to be cute, but it's not working. But yeah, then he drives away because he finishes the countdown. He's not just gonna stalk her, I guess. He kind of is, but then she calls Miranda immediately and is just like, okay, what is wrong with me? Like, I'm fully dressed. I let him drive off and I don't know why. And Miranda basically just calls her out and is like, it's big. You just don't want to get hurt again. And there it is.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
And the other thing a single independent woman in her 30s doesn't want to hear.
True. Yep. She doesn't want to hear that, it could take a while to move on. And it's like, I get it, because, any relationship that has not a great end is going to kind of scar you for a bit, and you are going to feel kind of, not the best about jumping into something new. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to ever empathize with Carrie, ever. So...
Yeah, I empathize with her. I don't. She should be a bit clearer with him, I think.
I think so too. Like, I think she might just want to be more straight up, like, I don't want this. Like, I very much need time to myself. Or, I don't know, because, like, Miranda saying that one thing was all it took for her to be like, next scene is she's on the ferry to Staten Island. So
yeah. So I think like she should either say, "Look, I just got out of a really bad relationship, but maybe we can meet another. You know, maybe if it's meant to be, we'll run into each other again."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not on my front doorstep.
Yeah, don't stalk me. I feel like that is fair enough, and that's succinct. And I mean, she kind of does do that, but she should hold her ground a little bit more, I think. And
yeah, and she doesn't
put up. She's not putting up a fight.
No, and she doesn't really say let's take things slow until like the end of the episode. It's kind of I don't know. I mean, people change their minds and stuff, and I get it. Like I know that when you're like going through a breakup, you're emotional and you don't really know what you want. You're not sure if you should jump into something new or if you're ready or not. And I get it. But it's Carrie. So, but she does get on the ferry and she finds Bill at the restaurant and, you know, he's happy to see her. He asks how she got there and she's like, oh, the ferry, because I'm an independent woman. Independent woman who can ride the ferry when she's, you know, fucking like 30 whatever years old. Good for you. And she's just like, this isn't a date. I'm here as a concerned citizen because there's a woman on my block who's not picking up after her poodle. And then this is where she says, Mr. President, it was a bad breakup. You're right. And I need to take it slow.
He's calling him Mr. President. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're going for a bit of a Kennedy thing because... I mean, I don't know. I get Democrat vibes off him. He's called Kelly. Like, I'm guessing that means he's meant to be Irish. He's very charming. He's handsome. I think he's meant to be a Kennedy.
Yeah, he gives very like Joe Biden vibes. Like
if Joe Biden was less creepy, like yeah, it's
very very Democrat. Yeah, I agree.
He's who the liberals think Joe Biden is to everyone.
It's true,
like smooth and charming, like a silver fox.
Yeah, the rest of us are just like, what? Okay.
The rest of us are like, why did you do that to Anita Hill?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, admit your crimes. Anyway.
We will hang Joe Biden from The Hague.
Yeah. And no one can do anything about it because we're not American. So we're allowed to do whatever we want and say whatever we want about American politicians on our podcast.
Yeah, we're definitely not from the two countries which are like most aligned with America.
Good point. The thing is, I have my own election to worry about this year that is in fact happening before the US one. You just would never know it. So
no, I mean, I've got kind of a big shift coming to the country, so you know, we're busy girls. I mean, I'm only joking. I'm not actually gonna hang Joe Biden.
Yeah, not a threat.
He's old. He'll die soon anyway.
Yeah, he is kind of old. So, in the meantime, Justin Trudeau is not very old. So if you live in Canada, please fucking do not vote for him in whatever month our election is. Please don't. Please, I'm telling you, please do not vote for him. Anyway. Then we go to Samantha, and she is trying to make her firehouse fantasy happen. She slides down the pole for Ricky, and then we just smash cut to them having a sex against the fire truck.
Yeah.
This is extremely voyeuristic to me.
Yeah, I felt like I had walked in on them, and it also doesn't look very comfortable.
It does not, and it's like they're very much like other people are very much still at work right now.
Someone could just walk out any second. They're not even like you know in like the truck. The sleeping rooms. They have like little barracks or bunk beds or whatever.
Yeah, no, they're very much just against the truck. It's very, very. I mean, it's bold. It's a bold move.
Yeah. And then we get like a. Would you count this as a titty tally?
Oh, I did. I wrote titty tally in my notes.
I wrote a question mark next to mine.
Well, we got one
because we don't see her nipples.
We do see her nipples.
Oh, do we? Oh, okay. This is a definite titty tally then.
Yeah, I saw one.
I
It's like
saw
a
the
side-
nipples and they were there.
It's like a side shot while she's up against the truck, sandwiched between
Okay.
Ricky and the truck. And then after that, we get a shot where, like, she's wearing the fireman suspenders with no shirt on, and, like, the suspenders are covering her nipples, and it's such a look.
This is the
it's really
sexy
good.
fireman calendar I would buy. It's just women.
God, true. I would buy that, the sexy firewoman calendar.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks so but she's also so stupid. She looks great, but she's an idiot.
Yes, I agree.
Because she's like, why are these lined up like that? Like the suspenders and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And before he even gets a chance to tell her, I think he says like, oh, we need to be quick. The fire alarm goes off and everyone starts rushing out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's like,
it's
yeah, men everywhere. This is so awkward.
and like one guy's like, get out of my stuff. And she's like,
Yeah.
what? And he's like, there's a fucking fire. Get out of it.
She's not even wearing Ricky's gear. She's wearing some other guy's gear, and she's like totally naked except her underwear. It's
Her little blue knickers, which match the rest of her outfit. This genius.
oh, they're so cute. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And everyone drives off like immediately because there's the fire, and they just leave her there totally alone in her underwear in the station with the garage door wide open. So that's nice.
It's great. It's great.
But she does look amazing. So
Yeah, she's covering her nips. She's fine.
yeah,
Must be
she's good.
freezing though.
Mm-hmm. No kidding. And that is the end of her story this week. That's the culmination of it. We finish off with Carrie.
Yeah. So Carrie, how are they? They're in like the coat check. Which
Mhm.
how are they in there? That seems pretty like you're not meant to be in there.
Yeah, because the whole reason that everything has numbers on it is so that the person can get the coat for you when you hand in your number.
But
I don't
whatever, they're there and they're making out.
Mm-hmm. But then she has to run off because she doesn't want to miss the last ferry. And
Well, we
Mhm.
have to make a Cinderella reference, don't we?
Yeah, unfortunately we do, because the clock strikes midnight and she misses the Staten Island ferry.
Oh, and she loses a shoe.
Her shoe fall off. Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, she watches the ferry
It's
pull out of the dock.
Yeah, but she puts it back on, so it's okay.
She puts it back on, it's true. And then Bill pulls up in his BMW like the second the ferry pulls away and is just like, he rescues her.
Oh, I was kind of shocked that he was driving his own car.
I kind of was too. I was expecting him to have a driver, but maybe I'm just like, maybe my mind just thinks that because of Big.
Big's such a dick.
Yeah, Big has a fucking private driver, which is the most bullshit thing I've heard in my life. Like, Jesus.
He's such a fucking dick. Like,
people are starving, Big.
no, do you know what? Bill's a down-to-earth guy. He drives his own fucking car, which is got the least you can say
True.
about a man.
It's a fucking BMW, though, so I'm just like, okay.
It's ugly as well. It looks like an unmarked police car.
It doesn't look very nice.
No.
He picks her up, and she's just like, well, okay, but, you know, you're just taking me to my apartment, and that's it. He says, for tonight.
Yeah.
And then,
wink, wink.
Yeah, then he gives her the thumbs up, and then he says, any idea how to get off this island? Which, can you drive off the island? I guess so.
There
I
are
guess
usually bridges. I believe there's a bridge.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm just used to, because, like, the ferry that takes you from Vancouver Island to Vancouver, which is the ferry I'm most used to taking, there's no bridge, but you can drive onto the ferry, so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that makes sense, but I don't know how New York works, so.
I think there's a bridge. I mean, I played the Spider-Man game, so I feel like I know.
You know.
There's a bridge, and then I think the ferry's just like public transportation.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, yeah, it seems like it's entirely walk-on. Like, it's not a very big ferry, so.
No.
But Carrie says that, her voiceover says, sometimes a woman has to rescue a man, and she points him the direction of how to get off the island. So,
Yeah, okay.
She really helped. And that's how the Staten Island fairy tale ends.
Yeah, that's it, everybody. Welcome to season 3. We're about to get fucking deep. I feel like we've been hyping up season 3 since we started.
Yeah, I mean, we got some real good shit this season. And John Slattery for, like, I want to say 2 to 3 episodes.
I think it's just 2 because the next one gets into his fetish.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they break up.
You're going to really want to stay tuned for this. If you liked to hear about Mr. Silver Fox, wait till you hear about Mr. Golden Fox.
Golden Fox.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Also, I just love the phrase Silver Fox. There's a street in my city that's called like Silver Fox Court or Crescent or something. And every time I pass it, I'm like, it makes me think of John Slattery every time I pass it.
I feel like because he's not that old, right? Like he just looks it because he has white hair.
I mean, at this point, he is kind of old. Wait, now I need to find out. John.
I think he must only be about 40-something when this was filmed because...
Oh, yeah, he's only 56 now. Jesus, I thought he was like 70. Damn. Oh, my God.
So he was 38.
Yeah, so he was like normal age. And okay, so in this episode, like he's more like salt and peppery, not salt and pepper, but like he's not fully white at this
gray.
Point. He's gray.
Yeah, he's gray. He's not white. He's like white now.
Yeah, because like when he's in Mad Men, he's very much just like as like the hair is as white as it gets. It's like fresh powdered snow. He's really pretty. Now I'm just gonna look at the Google Images search of him, and I'm like, oh, he's handsome.
Yeah. When I was watching Mad Men and I saw Joan, I was like, God, I wish that were me. For many reasons.
Pretty much. Like, watching Mad Men, I get mad all the time at the men. But at the same time, I'm just like, man, Roger Sterling, I understand why he gets away with so much.
True. Do you remember, did you watch up until when he did blackface?
I did not see that one. I don't think I saw that one.
Like, I mean... There's not really an excuse. I mean, there is because it was in the show. You kind of had to do it. But, like, you forget that Roger is, like, the fucking creepiest fucking... He's the worst, but, like, you fucking forget.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, like, Joan deserves so much better than him, but...
She does. He's, like, cheating on his wife. He marries, like, a fucking 20-year-old. He does blackface. He's, like, a piece of shit. He's always making... I mean, it's the 60s, but he's always making, like... comments, but then you're like, oh, it's fine, which I mean, I guess, you know, shows his charisma.
Yeah, I can see why they cast him. I wish that like John Hamm is also very handsome, but like he's not handsome enough for me to like not be constantly mad at Don Draper. Or, like I'm constantly mad at Don Draper despite this, but when it comes to like Roger Sterling, I'm like not as mad, even though I'm like, he's just as bad or worse.
He's probably worse,
yeah,
I would say.
I mean, Don Draper never did blackface, as far as I know.
True.
So
Don Draper is, like, cool with black people. For the 60s, that's asking a lot.
He was cool with black people. He wasn't as cool with gay people, but...
No, but he wasn't... I mean... He's not, like, openly terrible, which I guess for, like, the time makes him, like, a good person. Like, now he would be a shit, but, like, at the time he was rather woke.
Woke Don Draper?
Yeah, Don Draper is woke.
God. Isn't there, like, an entire plot where they're, like, pissed that Kennedy won the election?
I don't think so.
Or weren't they all voting for the... Who was the person who was against Kennedy?
Nixon.
Oh, right. Yeah, weren't they all supporting Nixon?
I don't know. I think they ran like an ad for Kennedy. I can't remember now. I think I've seen like Mad Men twice. I sort of vaguely remember bits and pieces.
I can't remember shit. Yeah.
No, if I had to pick a Mad Man, I would go Ham over Slattery.
Yeah.
But that's fine. They'll use one for each of us.
Yeah, no, I would pick Slattery over John Hamm, and over all the other Mad Men because Vincent Carthy's like no.
No.
I guess we should rank our ladies. mad
we can't
ladies.
rank the men of Mad Men. That would be another episode, bonus episode.
Who's our top? But yeah, I haven't seen all of Mad Men, so it might not be fair. I've seen like the first 3.5 seasons, so
yeah. God, we need to get people to ask us questions about Mad Men. We didn't really get any questions, but let's do the rankings first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put Samantha at the top because she just wanted to have a gangbang, and like, do you know what? That's valid. And she also wore the best outfit of this fucking series.
Plus, she wanted to talk about cock at breakfast, which
she looks beautiful. This entire episode, she looks gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And this is such an underrated look. Like, a lot of stuff is talked about. I don't think this one is as much as it should be.
Yeah, no, I feel like this is like a very, like, we've kind of had a slight change with her look, and overall it just, like, it works so well. She looks very classy and sexy and, like, just very nice. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then, I'm maybe gonna do a tie between Charlotte and Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like they were both, like, Charlotte's whole thing about just wanting, like, I understand where she's coming from, but I think it's very archaic.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, Carrie bagged herself a hottie, but he is also kind of weird. And I don't think she was very passive this episode. She didn't really do anything apart from just be weird. And then Miranda is just fucking stupid.
Yeah, I definitely agree about Samantha being the top. She didn't do a single problematique thing as far as I can remember. And I thought she was entertaining and she looked cute and she did a good job and I'm proud of her. I don't even know after that. I mean, I think I'm going to put Carrie second just because I'm happy to see John Slattery on my screen, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't get to see him. So I guess I'll do that. And then I think I'm going to put Charlotte third, mostly because of the dancing she pulled off at the calendar competition. And then Miranda's also going to be last for me because, like, okay, so she, on the one hand, she's like, I don't want to get picked up, so she's being stupid. But then on the two hand, she's like, I'm pretty much dating Steve, which is also stupid. Like, do the two smart things and don't date Steve, but then get him to pick you up. Like, there's one solution, and she did both of them wrong. So
wake up and go, get out of my house.
Yeah, wake up, sheeple. That's Miranda.
Wake up, sheeple. This is Alex Jones. Oh my god, you guys are freaking out my surname. Whoopsie. I'm his daughter.
Mm-hmm. God.
Yeah, what else are I gonna say? I can't remember now. It's probably not important.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, we can jump into questions. So if you want to send us a question, you can send it either to citygirlsmakedo.tumblr.com/ask, or you can send it to citygirlsmakedo@gmail.com. And this week we only have one question, so we're going to get through this pretty fast, I think. And it's not even really a question, so it's from Tumblr user Mike Dawson, a regular question sender of the show. And the question says, I keep forgetting to mention, but as someone who has a janitorial job at a gym, I just wanted to mention that while I've never heard of a family hour, some gyms will have a daycare section for little kids. The one I work at is for middle-class suburbanites, though. Most, I think, just don't allow them or might have specific classes for families. So this, I guess, this is a reference to a few episodes ago when Miranda was dating the guy with the kid. And we were like, why the fuck are there kids allowed in the gym? This seems unsafe. And this seems right to me because when I was a kid, my stepdad used to own a squash club. Mm-hmm. And when parents were like playing squash or at the gym, there was like a daycare area where kids would just go hang out upstairs and play and shit and not get in the way. So that sounds about right.
Yeah, my parents never went to the gym because they just like drinking.
That is so valid.
No, but I think any gym I've been to has been like 16 plus.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because there's got to be some kind of age. Because, well, the machines can be dangerous. Like,
you don't want fucking kids playing with weights and shit.
No, they can hurt somebody or themselves. So bad.
Yeah, you don't want lawsuits. More than you want a child to lose an eye, you don't want a fucking lawsuit.
True. But that was our only question, and it wasn't even a question, so we don't even really have anything to talk about with it.
No.
So good job, listeners, for sending us questions, you dinks.
No, we're making a Patreon only exclusive where we're going to trash all of you because you didn't ask us questions. We're heartbroken.
It's really heartbreaking. Next week, we're going to have like 16 questions from all the people who listened and who were offended that we called them out for being cowards. So
you're all cowards. We're going to get questions about like Mad Men.
That's
and
fine.
Everyone's going to call us problematic because we excused a fictional character's racism.
Look, like, you're not white, so your opinion on this is probably more valid than theirs, so.
It's not real.
It's not real, true.
It's not real. It's not a real TV show.
If you want to be mad at something in real life, be mad about the fact that Elizabeth Moss is a Scientologist. So
true. Let's all be mad at Scientology. Hey, if you're ever mad at like a black person, redirect that energy and focus it towards Scientology.
It's true. You should do that, and one day they'll be taken down, maybe. But
hey, maybe they should pay taxes. Just saying, I don't think aliens are real. I mean, I guess you could argue that God is an alien.
I mean, I do believe in like
for
extraterrestrial life somewhere if we're going to get like existential today, but like not Scientology kind.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Since no one asked us questions, we'll ask our own questions. Is there a God?
That's a hard question, and I don't want to get people mad.
We just threaten. If we don't get asked questions, we just threaten to, like, I don't know, share any hot takes, answer existential, questions about like life and the universe and everything.
I'm gonna have the most centrist cop-out take and say, does it matter?
That's a good point. I think that's my take too. We seagulls make agnosticism.
True. I'm gonna I'm not gonna answer the question for real because I don't want to get yelled at.
Me neither. This is a show about goddamn dicks and dildos and fucking vibrators. This is not the time to bring in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, true. Even though you were the one who brought it up, but
I know, but I was joking.
Yeah.
I was just having a laugh, mate, wasn't I?
It's true. City girls get existential. But I guess that's pretty much all we really have for this week. We can wrap up with our regular shit. You gotta find us on noisepace.xyz, because if you find us there, you're also gonna find all kinds of other goodies. Like, there's gonna be podcasts that are gonna blow your mind. Like all of them. I'm not going to name them. But you can find us there and other podcasts. And you know what? You can also find me on Twitter at Age of Oddish, and you can find me on Tumblr at Windfall Island. And I never mentioned this, but you can find us on Twitter at City Girls Make Do if you want to send us some funny tweets or something. Sometimes people send us some funny tweets, and I chuckle when I see them.
True. I ain't gonna name names. If you want more of me, then you can find me on Tumblr. I'm Dork Phoenix. And also, if you are, snooping around on Noisepace, you might find Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, where I state more facts about old politicians and old white men and how, we're all going to die one day. I haven't been on in a while, but, things change. People change. Stuff happens.
Well, I, for one, will be very excited if I get to look at my podcast phone app and be like, oh, there's Alex on this episode, because those are the best episodes.
Oh, You get a little dose of Alex without being there with me.
I know, it's good. Alex Make Podcast Challenge.
Sometimes I do that.
Alex Girl Make Do.
Yeah, sometimes I make do podcasts, so check them out.
Yep. Well, Thank you for listening, friends. We will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Stay foxy.
Oh, stay foxy and please stay silver.